Introduction to Acidity in Wine, Part 2 of 7. How does acid and pH affect the wine? How does acid affect the way that a wine looks and tastes? Acid directly influences the color and taste of a wine and protects it from bacteria both throughout the winemaking process and through aging. In terms of how acidity affects the color of a wine, red wines with a low pH, remember lower pH equates to higher acidity, are often an attractive shade of red. Higher pH, less acidic red wines can take on a blue or purple hue. Wines with lower acidity can also take on a brown color because they're more prone to oxidation. It may not be as noticeable in red wines, but can be aesthetically concerning in young white wines. Recall that white wines have a lower pH, usually in the range of 3.0 to 3.3, while red wines fall between 3.4 and 3.8. Here's some context. Lemon has a pH level of around 1, Coca Cola has a pH level of 2.5, milk has a pH of approximately 6.5, and water has a pH of 7. A wine with high acid will usually taste crisper and more tart on the palate. A low acid wine will feel smoother and rounder on the palate. When low acid is combined with high pH, a flabby or almost soapy feeling can develop. Acidity contributes to what wine needs for long term aging. High acid wines are more likely to improve with time than those with lesser amounts. The stability of high acid, low pH wines helps during aging. Conversely, high pH wines are more prone to contamination. Normally, these problems are corrected in the winery with the addition of sulfur dioxide, which helps absorb some of the oxidation that would feed bacterial growth. If the wine has not reached the desired acid levels, it's pretty common for winemakers to add tartaric acid to the wine prior to fermentation. This helps to balance the wine, stopping it from tasting overly sweet or also known as jammy. Winemakers can also experience the opposite problem, in which the wine is too acidic. To conquer this, wine producers use a process called malolactic fermentation. This mechanism converts harsh malic acid into softer lactic acid, which again helps to balance the wine. Note that if you are drinking a wine that is high in alcohol, it can be hard to distinguish between alcohol and acidity. They can have a similar effect, but alcohol will usually have more of a burning sensation than a mouthwatering one. Wines high in tannins and acidity will age better because both tannins and acidity act like natural preservatives for wine. So, if you want to hold on to that bottle for the long term, go for a high acidity wine.